on Sammy Whitcomb with 8 seconds left. Goes around to Gumake, drives baseline, and shot rejected by Izzy McMagor. Second opportunity is up and in.
In the realm of professional women's basketball, few stories are as captivating as the evolution of a young star determined to redefine her game. Over the past offseason, Caitlin Clark has not only maintained her status as an elite scorer, but she has also reinvented her physical and mental approach to the game. Under the guidance of Indiana Fever's new head coach, Stephanie White, Clark's transformation has been nothing short of revolutionary.
They are impressive. They are very, 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 very impressive.
At our Sport Pulse, we're here to break down every detail of her evolution, a story of dedication, grit, and an unyielding desire to excel. Every athlete's offseason is a window of opportunity, a chance to retool, refine, and push past perceived limitations. For Caitlin Clark, this period was not one of rest, but of intense, methodical training. Known already as a phenomenal talent, Clark embraced the offseason with an appetite to upgrade her game. While many of her contemporaries might have opted for a brief hiatus, she instead devoted herself to a rigorous regimen that would transform her physicality and sharpen her skills. Before the offseason, opponents knew her as a gifted scorer with the ability to hit deep threes that forced defenses to play catch-up. Yet, as the season progressed, those same adversaries began to exploit subtle vulnerabilities in her game.
New reaction after this controversial foul on Caitlin Clark.
Unnecessary.
Clark's Indiana Fever taking on the Chicago Sky on Saturday. The Sky's Kennedy Carter hitting a shot.
Defenders would employ a mix of aggressive body contact, smart screening, and relentless pressure tactics that, by the fourth quarter, took their toll on her performance. It was clear that while her offensive arsenal was formidable, there was room for growth, particularly when it came to enduring the physical demands of the WNBA. When coach Stephanie White stepped into the role of head coach for the Indiana Fever, she carried with her a wealth of experience, having been a championship-winning assistant and a seasoned former player. Her reputation for cultivating talent preceded her, and it wasn't long before it became evident that she had an eye for transformation. White entered training camp expecting to work with an already impressive player, but what she encountered was a young athlete whose hunger and competitive spirit ran deep. From the very first day, Coach White's approach was clear: develop every facet of Caitlin's game.
Checking her. The refs called it a common foul, but the league yesterday upgraded the call to a flagrant foul.
Her and Carter were jawing a little bit back and forth the last few possessions.
We're not just talking about scoring, White explained in early sessions. We're talking about a holistic transformation, physical strength, tactical understanding, mental resilience, and leadership on the floor. This comprehensive philosophy set the stage for a series of changes that would soon ripple through every aspect of Clark's play. One of the most noticeable shifts in Caitlin Clark's offseason journey has been her reinvention in the weight room. Recognizing that raw talent can only carry an athlete so far in the face of elite competition, Clark made a conscious decision to build a more resilient frame. Last season, while her agility and shooting prowess dazzled fans, the physical toll of relentless defensive schemes eventually became apparent. Opponents were adept at using body screens, jostling for position, and forcing her into situations where fatigue would eventually force a suboptimal shot. Determined to counter these challenges, Clark embarked on a rigorous strength and conditioning program. In the gym, she worked tirelessly on both upper and lower body development. The results have been profound. She now exhibits noticeably greater upper body strength, allowing her to absorb contact more efficiently when driving to the rim. This newfound robustness isn't just for show, it has real tactical implications. With enhanced core strength, she has improved her balance, allowing her to execute off-balance jumpers and angle shots with unprecedented smoothness. But perhaps the most dramatic change lies in her lower body strength. Building a more powerful base has translated into quicker footwork, explosive moves off the dribble, and an ability to generate increased power in every shot. Where once defenders could easily push her off balance, she now commands the paint with an unyielding presence. It's a metamorphosis that not only mitigates physical pressure from opponents, but also boosts her overall efficiency and effectiveness on the court. The evidence of Caitlin's transformation is not confined solely to practice sessions, it's vividly on display during live scrimmages and training drills. Observers have noted that when she steps on the court now, there's a perceptible difference. Gone is the weariness that once crept in during the latter stages of games. In its place is a confidence and poise that can only come from hours of dedicated work.
Jordan Canada looks to close out, but again, Charles getting Ryan Howard a wide open shot.
And wide open is Caitlin Clark, but she can't knock it down from up top. Tries it again from a different spot.
While physical conditioning played a central role in her transformation, Caitlin Clark wasn't content with simply becoming a more robust athlete. Understanding that basketball is as much a mental and tactical game as it is a physical one, she also devoted considerable attention to refining her offensive skill set, especially her mid-range scoring. Historically, Clark has been celebrated for her deep three-point shooting. Defenses would often resort to deploying multiple defenders near the perimeter, knowing that if given even a sliver of space, she would knock down a long-range shot. This strategy forced her to either drive hard into crowded lanes or settle for contested, tough shots. Recognizing this pattern, Clark took it upon herself to diversify her offensive threats. In countless hours spent in the gym, she honed a pull-up jumper that is both quick and smooth, as well as a delicate floater that can be unleashed even under heavy defensive pressure. The pull-up jumper is especially significant. It allows her to stop on a dime, create just enough space to release the shot, and catch defenders off guard before they can recover. Meanwhile, the floater has emerged as a secret weapon, particularly when facing taller opponents who are usually dominant in the paint. This shot, artfully designed to arc over outstretched hands, has the potential to be just as effective as her signature three-pointers. Coach White has been instrumental in this tactical shift. By emphasizing quick decision-making and situational awareness, she's encouraged Caitlin to read the defense as soon as the ball is in motion. Whether it's coming off a screen or navigating a fast break, Clark is now more adept at recognizing when to pull up for that mid-range jumper versus driving into traffic. The result is an offensive game that is not only more versatile but also far less predictable, a major advantage in a league where defensive schemes are constantly evolving. In practice sessions that simulate high-pressure game scenarios, Clark has repeatedly demonstrated her improved ability to create her own shot. Instead of being forced into making contested last-ditch efforts, she now has a reliable mid-range option that complements her deep shooting.
All right, strip to the free throw line. One thing, though, that we did have an opportunity to chat with the Fever this morning, with Clark and with Coach Sides. We asked them.
This adjustment not only reduces the likelihood of turnovers, but also compels opposing teams to extend their defensive rotations, opening up opportunities for her teammates. In essence, by diversifying her scoring methods, she has transformed herself from a one-dimensional threat into a multifaceted offensive weapon. No transformation is complete without facing real-world tests, and Caitlin's journey is punctuated by moments that illustrate her newfound resilience. One particularly memorable incident occurred during a game against a formidable opponent. In the heat of the contest, a controversial foul was called, one that, in previous seasons, might have derailed her momentum. The play, which involved a collision with an opposing player that was initially ruled a common foul, was later upgraded by the league to a flagrant call after replays sparked debate. Before that pivotal moment, there had been a series of heated exchanges on the court, gestures and verbal cues that reflected the high stakes of each possession. In the past, such incidents might have led to hesitation or a visible dip in confidence. However, this time, the reaction was markedly different. Rather than being intimidated by the physicality and confrontations, Clark's improved strength allowed her to stand her ground and even dictate the pace of physical exchanges. It was a clear signal that the days of being bullied by the opposition were over. Opposing teams, accustomed to double-teaming her and forcing her into unfavorable positions, now found themselves reeling. When defenders tried to impose their will by bumping or boxing her in, they encountered an athlete who had not only grown physically stronger, but had also developed an ironclad mental fortitude. Every contact was met with a controlled, deliberate response, one that showcased both her technical skills and the sheer force of her will. With each aggressive maneuver from the opposition, it became evident that Clark was evolving into a player who could absorb, counter, and ultimately redirect physicality in her favor. The significance of this shift cannot be overstated. In a league where the physical demands of a full season can wear down even the most talented athletes, being able to sustain peak performance under duress is a hallmark of true championship caliber. Caitlin Clark's commitment to conditioning and skill refinement is not just about individual glory, it's about ensuring that she can consistently elevate her team's performance throughout the long, grueling season.